What's going on, everybody? Today is going to be a little bit of a educational video. Today I really want to talk about pension max or pension maximization. That's for anybody out there with a pension. This concept applies to all pensions. What I'm really going to focus in on is Massachusetts, and I'm going to talk about people like cops, firefighters, um, corrections officers, any state employees that would have a state pension are who I'm going to be focusing on. Um, every pension's different, obviously, private pensions, union pensions, they can all be different. So this concept applies to all of them. When it comes to walking people through, though, I like to use the state example because it just is a little bit smoother of a process to explain. But obviously, Pension Max can apply to any pension. And what it is it's a way to get more money in retirement from our pension. So I'm gonna break out my trusty whiteboard and I'm gonna break it down. And bear with me. I am not known for my art or my handwriting, but I'm gonna do my best to make this make sense and draw it out so it makes sense to you. So you get three choices in retirement. Sorry, bad hands. Three choices in retirement, right? So we have option A, which is 80%. We have option B, which is anywhere from 79 to 75%. And then option C, which ranges anywhere from 73 to 65%. And that could be even greater depending on your age difference between you and your spouse. But I'm going to use just the rough numbers as an example. So option A, 80%. That's the most we can take. So whether it's the best of 3 years, your best 3 years, excuse me, your best 5 years, whatever it is for your department, 80% is the highest you can take. With 80% though comes no survivorship. And essentially what that means is if you were to pass away, your spouse gets nothing. So a lot of people see that and they go, oh my God, I can't pick that. I got to make sure that my family's taken care of if something were to happen to me in retirement. Got it. B. So B, obviously you're taking anywhere from a 1 to 5% less in retirement. And then you have what's called, it's an annuity base. So for 15 years, there's an available lump sum of money. And every year that you're alive and you pull from your pension, you pull out of this annuity. And what I mean by that is, say I pass away in year 10, my spouse has 5 years left. Because every year in retirement, I get less of that lump sum. So you pass away with 5 years left, your spouse would get whatever that lump sum is of the annuity that's left. If you live for 15 years, guess what? They get nothing. So not a lot of people pick this. It's kind of like an older thing that, for whatever reason, stuck around. I can't really explain why it's even a thing. I never recommend anyone takes that. Um, but you do what you think is best for you. And then option C, if you see, we're taking 73% to 65% of our retirement. So yeah, but what this gives you is if you were to pass away, it gives you that survivorship. So your spouse would get 2/3 of this money if you were to pass away. So think about that. Okay, I'm taking care of my spouse if something were to happen to me. Got it. But let's think about this. When you retire, is your plan to die right away? I mean, that's not why I'm going to retire. My plan isn't to die. My plan is to enjoy retirement. So why would I take a 7 to 15% loss of income, because I'm not taking 80%. for survivorship when I don't plan to die. Think about that. 7 to 15% is lost in retirement. So that if something were to happen to you, your spouse could get two-thirds of that 7 to 15%. So again, the only way this makes sense is if you plan on retiring and dropping dead the next day. But if you plan on having a nice, fulfilling retirement, why wouldn't we want to take 80%? Why wouldn't we want to take as much as we can in retirement when we have other options to address survivorship? So that's what Pension Max essentially is. It's the ability to take this 80% at retirement and come up with an alternative plan to address the survivorship if something were to happen to you in retirement. And guess what? We can do better than two-thirds. We can do a lot better than two-thirds. And we're not paying 7 to 15% of our income to do it. So if you're someone who has a pension and you're going to retire eventually, or you're getting near retirement and you need to think about your options, think about this. That's a lot. 7 to 15% is a lot of money every year to be giving up, betting on us dying early when we know based on facts that you're going to live for a very long time, but you're going to give up all that money every year betting that you'll pass away. Pretty crazy. So again, you don't know about this and you want to know more about it, it's time to reach out, because this is huge. When you're on a fixed income in retirement, 7 to 15% year after year after year, that's a huge amount of money. I can tell you right now, there's no product that any advisor is going to tell you that they can get you a guaranteed 7 to 15% every year into your pocket from. But I'm telling you right now, by utilizing this strategy, we can put 7 to 15% back in your pocket by allowing you to take that 80% and finding a creative way to deal with the survivorship. So again, it's all about what you know. So please reach out. I can break it down more in depth and explain how this really works.